evening stretching and some talk together with me. So yeah, anyways, I've been quite sore after all the trainings. In fact, I haven't stretched in a while, haven't done myofascial release in a while, and there are certain issues that I have at this moment with my right hip, for example, and some minor things that just can be solved with a little stretching in my fascial release session. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I have my milk tea here. I love milk teas. Hi Ayush, hi everyone. It's good to see you. Let me see here I can see the views. I'm trying to multi-stream on Twitch, YouTube and Kick, though I don't think Kick is working. Could you check the Kick, maybe if it's even...
Let me see if you're not even on, you're just on YouTube now.
Well, yeah, no, Twitch is, maybe it takes a little bit of time. Anyways, it is what it is. Okay, hi to new people, and thank you very much for all the positive comments. Anyways, I'm just gonna start my session, and because it's just a stretching, I'm just gonna take it easy, and I'm gonna stop it anytime and get back to the chat at any point. Also gonna describe the process. So the truth is, I hate hardcore stretching. When I used to be a dancer before martial arts, before boxing, karate, all of that. I used to do Georgian National Ballet, and it's directly related to a lot of splits, a lot of like damaging type of stretching, and that was like a hardcore. I don't do that anymore. To me, stretching is fully related to relaxation, to rehabilitation, to muscle release, and that's how I do it. So, okay, let's see, what questions do we have here? Will human race gonna survive 21st century? I don't really think so. Well, I'm joking. I hope we will manage to do something. Are you working out? No, I'm just stretching. But anyways, let me just lift this up a little bit. So with the combination of some mobility drills, like basically just deep squat, for example, a lot of people might not know, but not a lot of people can do a proper deep squat, like this kind of stuff with the proper stretch and mobility. And yeah, like if you have a painful lumbar, a good way to do it, just stand against the wall like this and just relax and just hang out for a little bit, for a while in this position, and that's gonna help your lumbar to relax. So, okay, so more and more people coming. Could you do splits? I'll try to do it. I used to do it. I can try it in a while after I warm up a little bit. But let me tell you guys, that kind of stretching is not good. It's not ideal for health, and that's not what I do necessarily. Like right now I have certain issues, like my right side of my body is quite tense, and I'm just gonna try to release it. We Indians taught the yoga all over the world. I'm so proud of that. Well, you're gonna be proud for a lot of cultural heritage that India left to the world. Yoga, and not only as the sport, but as the philosophy. And second one that comes to my mind is chess. There's some debates between that was chess originated in India or Iran or Persia, but I think essentially most of sources say that it's India. So good for you. You should be proud of the positive, a good, strong culture. But anyways.
When you're talking about yoga, you can also talk about Rishikesh.
Oh yeah, we've been, speaking of India, we've been in a few cities in India actually last year. We traveled for months, and one of my favorite places was Rishikesh, which is one of the yoga capitals basically. That was a quite an interesting experience there. Anyway, speaking of the issues and how you address it through stretching. For example, I have sort of a hip impingement issue. I have a right piriformis muscle tightness. So I'll do neck stretches now. So I'll just get this position now, like this. And basically that's what I do. And it just feels great in this position. It's like, oh man, it's good. Yeah, it's a little bit painful, but I really needed to take the time for that and do it. I always like to change the angle and just see if I target the right muscle fibers and the ligaments in this case. Okay. Already feels better, you know, nothing extreme. And then another one is the piriformis muscle stretch that I like to do this way. So you just lay down, cross the leg like this, grab on the one under the one leg, and then push. I already can't feel. So I'm stretching the right side now, like this side, and it definitely hurts. That one is not really pleasant one, but it's just because it lays on the major lower body nerve, nearby sciatic nerve, and yeah, that thing hurts. Even if you don't have it tightened up, obviously, when you know what the feeling should be, you can readjust the position, improvise a little bit, and ideally, someone else can help you too, and it just works good. Well, hi everyone. Now, Western culture slowly claiming that yoga is Western culture is not a broad day snatching or contexting. Well, I mean, it's just not true. Yoga didn't originate in the West, so it's very simple. It just isn't. So I think everyone who can just research a little bit about the history and the cultural origins can find that it comes from the East, and specifically from India. Why Red has his username, you're a blonde dude. It seems to be blonde here, or maybe you're colorblind. I don't know. No offense, I'm just saying a lot of people don't know that they're colorblind. Like a couple of my friends discovered that they were colorblind in their adulthood, just after, and they ending up the eye doctor and just checking and being specifically blind for certain tones of color. You don't have to be fully colorblind, but anyways, yeah, it might be just a bad light. Hi Kyla, hope you're doing well. Gamarjoba, that's so precious. Gamarjoba is a Georgian greeting and it means hello, but if you go deeper, the word itself originates from the word victory, Gamarjveba. So it's like you greet each other with the victory, like a victory to you, victory to your family, sort of thing. Oh, someone is from the Twitch. Hi there. Show train more. Well, I'm not training today. I'm drinking my milk tea and I'm doing a little bit of stretching, a little bit. I'm gonna do some myofascial release. I'll explain. So, okay, this thing looks suspicious, but this is just a double ball for a target sports for the back, for the shoulder blades, for the lumbar. Obviously, can be used for your feet as well. And yeah, I'll show you what is the myofascial release and how much it helps for releasing the tension in your body. What's the time in your country now? It is 8:11 or 8:12 now p.m. And I'm from Georgia, and right now I'm in Georgia, Tbilisi. Can you say my name? I can. So your name's Olivia, and you're a lady. That not many girls are here, and I'm always welcoming more women to join my live streams. So you're welcome, Olivia. How many languages do you speak? I speak 3 languages fluently. Georgian, Russian, and English. Actually, Russian was my first language because my mom speaks Russian and my father was speaking Russian to her, even though I was born in Georgia, so within the family. That's like my major language, like first one. But then they put me in a Georgian kindergarten, Georgian school, and throughout the years I learned fluent, good Georgian, and then English around 2020, and I'm self-taught. I speak 6. That's great. Tell us which languages. I need to invest in those type of balls. I use tennis balls and it doesn't press hard enough. That's a fair point. In the very first time when I was introduced to myofascial release, everyone was using tennis balls, and they're good for for people who is the low pain tolerance or threshold, and for the upper layer tension release. But then, if you want to go deeper in your muscle tissue, you definitely need a harder ball. So, massage balls are the best for it. Where is your husband? Well, he's in the chat. He's watching everyone. Okay, hi to everyone. I speak Welsh. That's cool. Okay. But anyways, well, I'm just gonna lift this up and I'm gonna grab my milk tea. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take this thing and I'm gonna do so-called myofascial release, starting from my feet, and it does hurt, I can tell you. And sometimes people say, no, it doesn't hurt, because they just don't relax their foot. If you really do relax your foot and you start applying the pressure, it feels a lot. And there are certain common spots that are usually tense. What I like about the double ball, because you can actually target both outside, the lateral side and medial side, at the same time if you press right in the middle, in that gap. So it is like it rolls over both on the edge and also on the inside of the foot. And you gotta do it as long as you want, as long as it feels like. You can roll a little bit and then apply the pressure to the painful areas. And obviously that should be a controlled pressure. Yeah, sorry for the sounds, but yeah, it is painful. Okay, now I want to press on the center, so I just moved my foot a little bit. And, well, that is normal. If you walk a lot, if you sprint, if you do boxing, a lot of footwork, a lot of lower body involved training, it just gets tense and it has to be released, because one day, it can be okay for years. You can neglect it for many years, and then just one day you get it strained, or you get that major trigger, you can even barely walk. That happened to me at some point, and that's how I was introduced to the myofascial release, specifically on the feet, it's not very different from the massage. I mean, the massage effect and myofascial release effect is similar, and the point is the same. Go deep into the trigger spots, trigger areas, and try to release them, open them up with a controlled pressure. Okay, and it doesn't have to be, you cannot release all of it. That just doesn't happen that way. So once you feel like it's okay, just move to another foot. And of course the right side is more painful because of my boxing stance. This is how I always this is my stance, and most of my body weight comes on my right foot, and it feels like after many years I developed a small asymmetry, and I always need to take care of my right side and to pay more attention to it when I do like a myofascial release and stuff. When I'm done with this foot, I'll get back into the chat and engage more. Okay, so again, in the middle, like right in the gap, and that helps me to press on the outside, on the lateral and medial part, and then I can switch to the ball itself, right in the center, and this is where the most triggers usually are located. I got one. Ooh, hooty hooty hoo. Ow, owie, owie, owie. So as I said, it doesn't have to be, if it hurts too much, don't push against it way too much. You're gonna just create the resistance. You gotta do it gradually, layer after layer, and just follow your feeling, your body feeling. This is stretching, and myofascial release is very feminine. Like, it's a very feminine process. You gotta trust your intuition, your body feelings and stuff like that. Yeah, because if you try to force it, if you try to fight it, your body just gonna resist. And there is a risk to actually hurting yourself more. Yeah, the right one is definitely worse than the left. Mamma mia. Okay, I will just leave it alone for now. If I want to, I can go back to it whenever I want. So there is no limitation to it. Okay, I'm gonna, Twitch is working. Okay, Chris Wingsuit, yeah, it's Chris from the Twitch now. Great, Twitch is working. Kyla says, salt baths after rigorous activity helps me so much. Dr. Teal's pre and post workout is my favorite. Those are good ones. I love your shirt, thanks. You spar with your husband too? I mean, maybe playfully, but not really. He's way too big. Where did you buy it? Just somewhere in the, I think it was one of the shops in Vietnam. Wear healthy sport shoes, you will not be injured. Yes, shoes are very important, but it still doesn't protect you from the trigger spots. Like, feet are the most pressured parts of the body, no matter what you do. And they're meant to be. There's just no other way. So it still makes sense to do myofascial release and focus on your feet. Love your videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What you're drinking, is it milk or soy? It's a milk tea. So it's just black tea with a sweetener and a regular milk. What is your full name? Well, I'll tell you my my given name. It's Diana. who the hell had advised you to be a boxer with such a beautiful face? Well, the truth is, I wasn't more like an ugly duckling before. So no one, at least no one told me not to do it because I'm way too pretty. A couple people said that maybe you can reconsider, but yeah, that was it. And then, you know how it happens. Sometimes you glow. How you call that? You have a glow up. My glow up came in my life a little bit later on. So I cut my weight. I got the braces that reshaped my face literally, and yeah, I just became more, you know, well-rounded. Like around 3 years ago, since I met my husband, he had a good influence on me. Sadly, no coconuts in Georgia. Yes, that's true. That is true. We miss it. That's one thing I definitely miss from Vietnam. Okay, will you show the proper punch throwing wrist positioning? Okay, I can do that. Why not? How many tattoos do you have? I have like 5 tattoos. This is the biggest one. And yeah, like there's a request, the question regarding the proper wrist position. So, okay, whatever you do, obviously there are different punches sometimes in the fight. It just does not, you don't have time to rotate it fully and all that kind of stuff. But when you just practice, obviously you follow the certain blueprint, and what you do is, this is how your knuckles should look. Don't leave your punch like this, try to rotate it, kind of screw it in. That's pretty much it. Those two knuckles should be the ones that land. If you don't rotate it fully in, that's not gonna happen. So that's pretty much it. Are you a climber? I did some climbing, but I'm not the climber. I know some though. Can you do a handstand? I can do a wall assisted handstand, I think, but I'm not sure. I'll try it. Just give me a second. Just rotate it a little bit like this. Does it look proper? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can try to do it longer, one more attempt. But also, I don't want to touch the wall all the time. So what I want to do is just have it as the assistance. You see? But because I don't really practice it that much, I kind of drop. So, though I learned how to do it smoothly, and at least I'm proud of that. Okay, so yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna look into chat a little bit more, and yeah, let's keep going. So using this guy again, that might look, if someone just came in the stream, might look at like what the hell is this? But this is a massage ball, just a double ball. So it's good for areas that are, if you want to work, let's say both sides of the shoulder blades area, like the rhomboid muscles and piriformis muscles and like that kind of stuff. This guy is good for that. Has it ever happened with you that someone assumed you a flower and then you showed him the real fire of your punches? In the middle school, when this guy who was a little bit of, how to call it, like a troublemaker, he just started harassing me a little bit, and at some point I just punched him with the right cross and just ran away out of the class. And that was the first, not even a girl, first person ever who dared to do that within the school or like within our class. And then surprisingly, he shook my hand, he respected that, and he never ever did that again. So yeah, he's dead though. Rest in peace. I mean, I think he was a talented guy, had a lot of potential, but just ruined himself in many ways, unfortunately, and that happens to people. You doing well today? I'm alright, I'm just a little bit tired, and that's why I drink my milk tea as an old lady, and I do a little bit of stretching, myofascial release. How did he die? Well, no one knows exactly, but some people say he was under some influence. The fact is, he fell from the bridge, but no one exactly knows. He didn't leave any letters, nothing, so no one is sure if that was a suicide or actually was an accident. So yeah, I don't know. That was a sad story. It was like many years ago now. My brother has his military boxing match tomorrow, in which in 3 minutes who hit more punches will win. Can you share any tricks or deeds so I can share with him? Well, okay, that's an interesting one. If it's rules that whoever is gonna throw more punches, there are certain ways you should throw punches so you don't get very like tired, because it's a little bit specific rule. So first of things, like if you're just gonna go like this, he's gonna get hit a lot himself, and that just might not be very convenient. In this case, the best would be get like in the close position, like not like this, like this specifically, because like his elbows are down and his gloves, it depends if they're gonna have a boxing gloves, and you're protecting from here like this, and get in the middle, like close range, and boom, like this. Just basically try to throw a few punches, hide, throw a few punches, hide. When you're in the position close to your opponent, you kind of force them into doing this, so they kind of gonna have to brawl with you, and try to catch them once they're open. Let's say they're open and try to throw a hook. You catch that hook, and then you like throw the punch. You catch it, throw like a short punch right in the open area, and then follow with like total 2, 3, 4 punches, and do like it in the pace, like 1, 2, 3, hide, 1, 2, 3, hide, 1, 2, 3, 4, hide, kind of thing. I mean, if it's, again, speaking of the rules, that's what advice I could give that actually could work, and it's not that hard to execute. Okay, just let me scroll up a little bit. How did you get into boxing? When I was a teenager, like 15 years old, I moved from karate to boxing because I just wanted to do more like a sport, like a combat sport, and yeah, that's how I got into it, and I never quit fully. I mean, I did some amateur competing for a short period of time, but then I just retired early, and then I just kept going on with it. Okay. In shadowboxing, do we have to perfect every movement? I would start perfecting from the basics. I would start perfecting the basics and the things that actually work for you and you want to use in your fight. You don't have to do everything at once. It's just better to do it gradually and then change the combinations over time. Okay, just keep scrolling through the chat, guys. Thank you very much. Please pray for him, and I wish you were my sister. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, don't spam and please reply. Don't spam, please, and I reply to you now. Okay. Feel pain, accept pain, known pain. Those who do not understand true pain can never understand true peace. That's it's quite a wisdom here in the chat. I do agree with that. Okay, and keep scrolling up, guys. Are you doing calisthenics kind of movement? I mean, sometimes, some elements of it, but not like a full-scale calisthenics. Jack Knox Islam. We'll see. I mean, I think people underestimate Jack Della Maddalena, but again, Islam is not an easy match, and he's gonna feel quite comfortable in the welterweight. That's what I think. So I think it's gonna be an interesting fight, but Islam has all the chances to win, though. How do you protect your body if your hands are up? Well, that's the thing. You kind of have to curl a little bit into a boxing position, and I'm struggling with it a little bit too, because I haven't sparred in a while, and it's a little bit tricky to get there. But you're not just standing like this. In reality, in boxing, this is how you do that, but obviously you cannot cover yourself fully, both stomach and like your face. So what you do, you kind of lean. You learn how to catch like bump, back, then you do up, bump, with slight leans. So this is how you pretty much cover it. There is always certain gaps. There's always going to be something, and that's the kind of the game of the boxing. The opponent tried to punch you. Sometimes they just punch you in your guard just to make you drop your arms or lift your arms to get to your jaw or to get to your stomach. And this is how it is, you know. That's why you have so many modifications. You can move in many ways. You can stand in the different distances, and etc. You have really slimmed down a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ilya is challenging to boxers now. Don't you think it's overconfidence? Well, I mean, never seen Ilya's boxing footwork, right? So I cannot judge him. His upper body work when it comes to boxing and just enough footwork for and distance control like that required in MMA, and he could do as much boxing that he can efficiently use in MMA. He's doing it that brilliantly. So that indicates on the high level of the fighting IQ in general. But boxing is very upper body focused. Though your lower body still works a lot, and it's like very specific footwork, and it's way more active, I think it's way more pressured. Like in MMA, you change type of pressures. Okay, you have striking. If you're not getting well there, you can always go go for a takedown. Then you can work on the guard. You know, you change your paces, and depending what you're better at, or if you are pretty much good at everything, and you can just give yourself some breaks during the fight. In boxing, it's pretty much hard to do. It's you always have to move, always have to be focused, and all the punches are focused on the face, on the head, and the core, and that's it. You know, you don't really pace down that much in the boxing. Right hand at the chin, left, hold up, left arm across the body, your shoulder to roll punches. Like you mean like you feel a shell, like this, what you mean? Or like this? Yeah, I mean, feel a shell works. It's a working element, but it depends how you execute it. Everything is on at the point of how you execute it. Boxing is good, but it ain't the best. If you go against a very good professional MMA fighter, you will lose. If you go against MMA fighter in the MMA rules, of course, a boxer loses. I think a wrestler loses too. Like if you just take a good wrestler and against an MMA fighter who is just well equipped in everything, not just, you know, striker, an MMA guy who doesn't know how to wrestle. I'm not talking about that one. We're talking about well-rounded fighter. It's always higher chances for a well-rounded MMA fighter to win in the MMA rules. However, if you put MMA fighter and in a boxing ring and you just make them fight in the boxing rules, a boxer wins. Period. Well, we have like people like Ilya, for example. I think he can beat an like average good boxers, like average good level of boxers. He can beat some of them, but when we're talking about elite level, that's a little bit tricky thing to say. I was asking her opinion. I'm sorry, I maybe missed that one in the chat. Okay, so that was about something about the fight. What do you think of the Tyson Jake Paul fight? Rigged? Yes, it was rigged. It was staged. This is how we do. This is how we do in the trainings, like when we do just a pair work without punching each other, just almost imitation. That's what we do. That's called the technical light sparrings, with no impact, no force, just moving, kind of imitating the movement. I mean, for everyone, and especially for boxers, that was just clear that it was rigged. If you want to see not a rigged fight between an older, like a senior boxer, that was Pacquiao versus Barrera. Barrios, Mario Barrios. Like that wasn't rigged. So yeah, that's my answer. Okay, let me just see. The chat is going quite fast. Okay. Exactly, we had seen Floyd versus McGregor. Conor was nowhere, and Floyd was like 40-something years old. How old he was at that point. Okay, I'll keep scrolling up, guys. I want to see Bilal versus Usman. Yeah, I think that fight will... I would watch it. Yes, MMA fighter will lose mostly any boxing fight, but I think Ilya would quite good in boxing. He would have beat a pro. Well, he still needs time to get into the boxing camp, like boxing training, boxing footwork, all that kind of stuff. But that's why I said, like, he's quite good naturally. So if he trains, might be a great boxer as well. Okay, I keep scrolling up, guys, trying to engage in the chat. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. Tyson is a beast. Yes, he truly is. And to me, he still is. But the prime Tyson was a legend. You ever use Philishell? Not really. I don't use Philishell that much. I do think Jake Paul versus Tyson fight was 100% rigged. It's obvious to any thinking person, obviously. I mean, again, for people who are experienced, at least in watching fights, and they're like following the sport, of course that was a rigged fight. But for some people, it was just the first. Let's say that was the first fight they ever watched, and for people like that, it's hard to maybe differ. Let's say a controlled fight between a real full-scale fight. Can we train MMA at 40 for self-defense and well-being? Absolutely, you can. And there are there's so many MMA fighters. There's so many people who do that in their 40s. There is the guy called Paul Reed who started fighting professional at 35 years old, and I mean, it's they're just people. There's nothing impossible, you know, to a certain extent. There's always a certain limitations to the age, but you know, it's impossible until you prove it's possible. We have Crawford versus Canelo. The most likely I see it finishing by unanimous or split decision towards Crawford. That's what I see. But if there is a knockout from either side, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I think that's going to be a great fight. But if Canelo doesn't manage to finish that fight, I think just Crawford wins by points. That's how I feel it. Have you ever been in a street fight? How many ever was the guy? I'm a girl. And fortunately, I never had to like self-defend myself from the very dangerous situation, if you know what I mean, like desperately dangerous. Since I found your channel a couple months ago, I've greasing the groove every day with pull-ups and push-ups. The biggest difference so far is my back pain is nearly gone, practically a miracle. Oh, that's great, Kyla. That's a super thing to hear. Thank you for sharing. And guys, Kyla is pointing at Grease the Groove method that I've been using as well. And it's just look it up, guys. It's it's created by Pavel Tsatsouline, and it's one of the best strength oriented approaches out there. Yeah, I mean, Jake Paul being rigged and scripted and a joke, yeah, we all know that. I mean, I don't disagree. And the sad thing is, I think he could become a good boxer. Like, there is a difference between being able to do some good movements off the ring, and then, like, there is like a before ring and after ring. So then you take that and you need to practice practically from the zero to get good at the ring, in the sparrings, in the technical sparrings, heavier sparrings, etc. Okay? That's what he doesn't want to do. That's what I don't like him. Crawford technically is superior. I mean, I do think so too. My boyfriend is, my husband is Norwegian. Like a Scandinavian Norwegian. Hi to Iran. What are your thoughts in Islam versus Khamzat in welterweight? Well, Khamzat is bigger, and like Khamzat's wrestling is, I think it's crazy. It's better than Makhachev's wrestling, but Makhachev's BJJ, like grappling, is so much, like, it's out of this world. So thinking about that, and he's also a good wrestler, so thinking about that, possibly he could find gaps, and don't let Makhachev just have a full control in the wrestling control, and if he could turn it into BJJ brawl, then that fight could work a lot on the ground still, because striking, I think Khamzat wouldn't let him do much striking. And again, I think in this case, a little size difference, I don't think it's a very big one, but Khamzat is quite big actually. No, I'm mistaken. So size difference matters. And even if it's a welterweight, like, that would be... I know that Makhachev not particularly was... Like, he had some problems with stamina or something in the welterweight before. So he moved up. But it's still, with the right weight cut, with the right weight management, it can be... you can avoid all those side effects, and that can actually just turn you into the weight bully, and that always goes to your advantage. So yeah, I'm not sure that one. There's too many criteria. In general, I think Islam is way more diverse fighter, and obviously he's one of the best in the currently in the UFC, not only in the welterweight division, like lightweight, welterweight, and those two divisions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a little bit like between those two, there are certain factors that could play rather in the favor of Hamzat or in the favor of Islam. And yeah, I pretty much pointed out my opinion regarding it. Okay, I'm trying to not to miss much through the chat, okay? I don't want to shrink. What stretches do you recommend? Hold up. Recommend to stop that from happening. What do you mean by shrinking? Like I don't really fully understand, because stretching and myofascial release on that kind of stuff is to just to release your muscle tensions, your trigger spots, and basically just keep you more flexible, more mobile, and more agile, and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't really affect much of your hypertrophy. So you just should keep training hypertrophy and just add up some. If you don't want to do stretching specifically, at least do some massage therapies at least once a week at the very least. And if you cannot, that's not the thing you can do very often, use like a foam roller, myofascial release, just to take off the upper layer, at least the upper layer of the tension. What are your recommendations or exercise you can show to straighten for a very good upright posture? Okay, well, since I'm already here, here is the wall. You can sit like comfortably the way you want, this position, slightly bent legs. Okay, so people who struggle with the posture, usually they're locked in here, and even when they put their neck, they have a major gap here, so they cannot just, relax the shoulders and fully engage the shoulder blades. They struggle with reaching up with their arms, from all the different directions and that kind of stuff. So I think one first exercise you can do is just 1 second. So no hair clips, just go straightly. And again, if you struggle with that, just do this. Okay, hold it a little bit like this, relax. Like 30 seconds to a minute, and depends up to your comfort. Again, don't force it way too much. Just those type of exercises are about consistency. Even if you do 5 minutes a day, it's better than not doing at all. So then obviously you can add up shoulder blade contraction. Just keep your head in a position. And as I said, to me it's easy now, but for people who have a hyperkyphosis and some posture deformation, they would struggle to hold it like this, right? So that's why it needs to be done gradually. Then you add up the arms, the arm movement, and the shoulder mobility training. You can have a stick or the rope, and you can do the same in different ranges. Here is the hardest. The wider you go and the lower you go, it's easier. So find the range where it works for you. And that's basically what you can do on the wall. However, that's not the only thing you should do. You definitely need to try to do a little adjustments with the things that cause your posture deformation. For example, all of us look at the phone like this. So I often remind myself, and I try to hold that phone in front of me. It's very often like this. So that is one thing. Second thing is computer. If you have a work and you spend hours of your day sitting in front of computer, try to get your desk adjusted and get the table and a desktop and all the setup the way that it's right in front of your face, so you don't have to be in this position while you're working. A standing desk option is also good. A lot of people who have the kind of how you call it, stagnated lifestyle and they spend a lot of time sitting in office, at home working on the computer, that's a good way to do it. But yeah, basically some of the adjustments. And just last thing is just remind yourself when you walk, don't look down. Try to learn, just lift your chin up and look forward. And that already, if you just straighten your head, it already fixes your posture to a certain extent. So I think those are the adjustments you can do. Okay, and keep scrolling up. Oh, Kyle did first clean pull-up will come fairly quick. That's Chris's response. Work on the negatives as you're always stronger. There, use the chair, jump on up and slowly down, and within short amount of time, you will do one. Yes, that's true. I remember I couldn't do single push-up all the way when I was 19 years old, but then I watched videos how to learn to do push-ups. I did the beginning wall push-ups for like 2 days and I learned how to do it. Oh, good for you. There are many ways how to do it. It's like, you know, when we share one approach, it doesn't mean that some other approaches don't work. But we usually try to look into something that actually is backed up with science, with the practice, with the statistics. And yeah, as I said, I tried it as a woman. Through the Grease the Groove approach, I was able to go from 0 to 5 strict pull-ups and 10 with a slight keeping, like slight keeping, not just jerking up, but like just a little waving up. And I think it's quite good for a woman. She looks like a Scarlett Johansson. I've been told that. Marry me. I'm already married. I appreciate it, thank you. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Sakartvelo, the country. I do a job 9 to 5. My body is adjusting itself to the chair. Posture is fucked up. What exercises will be good to keep posture straight? As I said, everything I showed. There are certain exercises you can do, like on the wall. Basically, just teach yourself. Start teaching your body how is it to keep your chin up, put your neck in the right position, and keep your shoulder blades together. Like not like this, but like opposite. The second thing is readjust. Even if you have the specific work space, talk to your boss and like just make sure that you just readjust it, that at least you can look forward to it. So you can manage the posture while you sit. Same with the phone. Try to avoid looking down. Try to keep the phone up and remind yourself constantly. And the last thing is when you walk, do the same thing. You know, don't walk and look down. Walk, look forward, lift your chin up, and it already readjusts your posture. And while walking, that's quite manageable. I'm not extremely delayed. I'm just, I think I'm just trying to scroll up sometimes and just go through the chat. I remember I felt weak in school. I was a little fat and I felt embarrassed that I couldn't do a single push-up, and now I can do more things. That's great. A lot of us, a lot of people were not at their best in the high school in that period. And I think it's way better to glow up and peak in a later, at the older age. Once I got more weight, that will get easier, and it's like lifting a sack of potatoes hanging around my waist. That's true. When I lost, I mean, Chris lost 20 kgs while we were in Vietnam, and I cut 9 kgs like in 2-3 years, and I can agree. Like when it's the extra weight through the extra fat, that is like just a useless weight that just holds you and makes you feel makes you feel heavier. I'm currently unemployed, but I'm about to get a job, and I will start going to the gym and the free time, so I get stronger. That's super. I mean, it seems like you're going ahead with your life, and you should be proud of yourself. Just keep the good work up. You look like Felix from Stray Kids. I've been told that, I think. Let's go, Merab Dvalishvili and Ilya Topuria. Yes, let's go. Long sitting jabs hit the lower back. One more thing about the jabs. Guys, start getting up. Set the timer. Once in a half an hour, just get up for a couple minutes. Just do a little movement. Just do like a 10 squats. Just to get the blood flow in your body. And then keep working. You know, nobody's gonna tell you. I mean, yeah, a couple of people might look at you in a weird way, but it's just because most of people don't do that. And you can do that, and that's way better for your body and for your blood flow if you do that once in a half an hour than if you don't do it at all for hours. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Is it a delay for everyone? I'm just wondering. Sweetie, is it a delay? Okay, Chris says it's a little delay. My goal is to start going to the gym, and my goal is getting good chest. Thank you, but I'm not too rich. That's okay, and I'm pretty Indian. Thank you very much. And yeah, just don't say that. You've been generous, and you're doing this, like super chat donations and all that kind of stuff is very helpful for the channel. So I appreciate it, and shout out to you. But anyways, guys, it's good that you're trying to better yourself, and like 22 years old, you're saying it's very young. So it's good that you're starting it now. That's amazing, actually. Hi to Turkey. Hi from Georgia, from neighbors. I do kind of think Ilya will get the win against Merab. I mean, Ilya is on a whole another level than the opponents Merab have fought, so it will be hard for Merab. Yeah, I mean, Ilya and Merab never gonna fight. They said it themselves because they're Georgians and they're specifically in the different weight classes for that. Alexander, Ilya's brother, is in Merab's division, if I'm not mistaken, or rather it's featherweight or bantamweight. I'm not sure exactly, but even there they were talking that, yeah, they might just adjust and manage. Like Merab didn't even, he refused to fight Sterling, Aljamain Sterling. So it's just, you know, friendships are valued by Georgians quite a lot in the sport, and that sometimes creates a hurdle for UFC. But we'll see. We'll see how they manage that. I'm 100% sure that Ilya and Merab never gonna fight. Yes, Alexander and Merab are bantamweight. We'll see. Alexander's fight is already scheduled. I'm not sure when is it exactly. Also, another interesting fact, both Topuria brothers said that they're never going to fight at the same time because they always help each other with the preparation camp. So some people might say that, oh, let's say Ilya is not fighting too often or Alexander is not fighting too often because they're busy helping each other on each other's camp when they're not fighting. So I think it's quite precious as the brothers, you know. Oh, but do you know who is Ilya's next opponent? I haven't watched UFC recently, any news so about it. Gaethje, the Justin Gaethje is his scheduled opponent. Yeah, Justin Gaethje is already scheduled, and I think depending what Arman does, if Arman wins his another fight, and I think it's with I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, Tarikian's fight is also scheduled, and if he wins, he's most likely going to be another second contender after Ilya versus Gaethje fight for the title shot. Unless they just push Pimplet, which I don't think so. I don't think they're not going to do this at this point. Hello, hi to new people here. What are the Georgian thoughts on Armenians? Georgians and Armenians are like cousins or siblings. They low-key love each other, but then they like shit on each other quite a lot. And but it's still there are so many. I'm not sure about how it's in Armenia, but there's so many Armenian Georgians. Actually, Arman Tsarukyan was born in Georgia. He's Akhaltsikheli. I think that's his like nickname. I think Arman Akhaltsikheli Tsarukyan. So Akhaltsikhe is the city in Georgia. And yeah, apparently he was born there. And there are so many Armenian Georgians, so-called, that kind of identify themselves as the both. They identify both countries as their original country. So it's quite a strong ties historically as well. I think Tsarukyan should be given a chance. Well, not after he like literally pulled out a day before against rematch with Islam. I think everyone was furious. But Dana was furious with that, and he usually doesn't forgive those things. I think everyone else is looking at him as the dog at this point, unless he proves opposite. Yeah, and he started calling out Topuria now, but then Topuria says, "Oh, you don't deserve it," which is fair. Though Arman is not an easy fight. You know, a lot of people say that it's like it's going to go one or another way in an easy way, but it's not. So I definitely gonna want to watch that fight. It just, yeah, after you pull out from the title shot for the rematch, you don't get the title shot straight away after you pulled out in that circumstances. So he definitely has to fight at least one more fight before he gets another title shot in the lightweight. But he will. Ilya is gonna have to fight. As long as he maintains a champion, he's gonna have to fight like Tsarukyan as the first contender. The Islam versus Dustin Poirier fight was quite good. Islam said that their second fight gave the toughest fight he had because Islam bled from his forehead and had a really big cut in his forehead. Yeah, no, Dustin is a tough one. I mean, I think he gave a tough times to a lot of fighters. Hello? Hi, Tripto. Long time no see. Good to see you here. Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Hello. Yeah, Chris says, please don't spam. And yeah, please don't. Okay. Well, yeah, I really need to work on my shoulder blades and my lumbar. So after the feet, I already worked on the feet, as you can see that. So now I just lay down and I just put it right under my lumbar, and it already hurts, but in a very nice way. So that's what she said. But anyways, yeah, it's just repeating, guys. Those things, recovery, relaxation, a muscle release. is as important as training and impact training for the progress. Whether you're just an enthusiast and doing the training for yourself and want to have some personal goals and want to achieve some results, or you're an athlete. The levels might scale a little bit, but the idea is the same. So this idea regarding trainings that for the athletes, that you have to train as hard as you can so you're better, it doesn't work. It's proven not to be exactly the truth. It works your willpower, that's for sure. I think a lot of the reason why that old school mentality worked quite for a long time is just because, yeah, it built some monsters in the sports that were on another level with their psychological strengths. But when it comes to the body, when it comes to your body starts falling apart from a certain point. And that happened to a lot of athletes when they were supposed to peak, when they were supposed to get to the top shape. They just suffer through so many injuries that it just becomes impossible. That's what the heavy training without enough amount of recovery does to you. So yeah, sometimes take a day off. Nothing wrong with that, and be honest with your coach. Tell them that, and well, your coach should be encouraging too. Like for example, I have a boxer friend. She's in the Team Belgium in the amateur boxing, and her coaches are quite considerate, especially with females. They see and they measure everything. They measure their pulses, they measure the rest of the heart rate, all that kind of stuff, and they can really see if they suffer from exhaustion. They just give them a few days, a week sometimes, just to rest and recover, sleep through, just eat healthy, relax psychologically, spend time with their loved ones, because those things are important. But anyways, let me just look more into the chat again. Okay, interesting. Who are we talking about? How much chances are the DDP for a title shot after such a bizarre performance? Well, DDP himself said that he's not going to be back in a while. He's going to train, and I love DDP. I think his psyche, his mentality is great, and I do believe he can actually make his team and his training can make significant changes. But it's going to take time, so that makes sense. That and yeah, you wouldn't have an immediate title shot, but if that would bring a lot of people to just pay for that fight, do you think that Dana wouldn't do it? He might do it. So sometimes it's not about what is fair, it's about what sells. And yeah, sometimes I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in a year and Khamzat is still there, and they do schedule the rematch and make the whole stuff out of it. Yes, I'm married, guys. But yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna keep going. So now to the shoulder blades and the chest section. Oh, it's painful. I can tell you that, guys. It really is. But it's also feels so nice at the same time. For someone who's just coming into the live stream, I just have the massage ball right under my shoulder blades, and that's why I'm laying down like this. it's so tense it gives away when those balls are pushing on the trigger spots right in the middle of my between my spine and the shoulder blades, and those the soft tissues there. It just hits right up in my neck. Breathing always helps. It always does. Rolling a little bit on it. It's way comfortable to do it on the foam roller, but it's up to you. It has to be controlled pressure for sure, and it's really up to you. If it's too painful, don't do it. You can always put your arms like as the just for the extra pressure control. And now it starts getting better. Okay, I'll take a little break. Tripto, we're doing well. We're back in Georgia now. How are you doing? I hope everything's well on your side. Yes, UFC is a fighting organization. It's about what sells. So Bilal's example, he's so unknown because he's very boring and he got forgotten so fast after his title win. Sad but true. Yeah, that is a good example. And yeah, unfortunately, you gotta have a good PR, you gotta have a good social media presence, something. Even if your fighting style is not that entertaining, something has to be likable and entertaining about you. What are your thoughts on chiropractors? Is it good for back pain and straightening up the posture? I think it just feels good. I'm not sure how it works for the posture because it is a certain muscle memory. So this is your muscle memory. To change your muscle memory, you need to work through the muscles. Chiropractors work on the bone structure more, if that makes sense. You know, they just do the like crack you in a different position, and it just so it causes a certain sense of release, but it's not exactly like first hand posture. Do some Georgia vlogs. People like Georgia. That's a good idea. I will. My birthday is in the 40s. Well, conventions events. We think will win fight versus Hamzat versus Imam. Hamzat. Thank you, Kyla. You're a sweetheart. I don't hate love, but unfortunately, trash talking sells more than being a good fighter and respectful. The biggest example, Conor McGregor, he made the UFC a lot bigger worldwide. True though, yeah, but you cannot say that they're like respectful fighters are not interesting at all. Fyodor Emelianenko wasn't saying anything, and he was like one of the stars at that point, and at least for the people who are fans of the mixed martial arts, like he was a legend. GSP is another example. very humble, very inspiring with his story, you know, just being a weak child and then growing into a strong fighter. Like, yeah, we have some people who don't really do trash talks, like Alex Pereira is one who doesn't do trash talk. He doesn't talk much, but 2024 was a Pereira's era. So they are fighters that... Volkanovski, like Alex Volkanovski, he's hilarious. I mean, the guy has a cooking channel and some people know him from his cooking channel instead of UFC. And man, when he had this the fights, the scheduled fight between him and Ilya before, his promo, his response to Ilya was to the thing that he was called an old man. He made the entire skit out of it, and like, he didn't deny it, and it was hilarious. You should go and watch it, even now. So yeah, the guy is hilarious, doesn't really engage in the trash talks. Merab doesn't do that either. So yeah, there are plenty of fighters that don't do that. So I mean, so are boring and some are funny. Yeah, exactly. That's my point, was that something has to be interesting about you. If it's not your fighting style, then it has to be your charisma, your talking, your story, your like off octagon presence, like a social media presence and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, something has to be interesting. Ben Askren is the GOAT. Yeah, and I'm following him on Instagram. He seems to be recovering, and he's a warrior, man. I mean, the guy is... And he's blessed with a great wife, with a great family. The guy won. And he has a second chance for the life now, and we're all praying for him to keep going, keep getting better. Yeah, Mighty Mouse, GSP Mighty Mouse and John Jones are the biggest UFC GOATs ever. Yeah, one of them. I mean, like Anderson Silva was great at his point. He was also inspiration for many fighters, including John Jones. Like for John Jones, Anderson Silva was the Spider, was one of the, and he still is one of the best fighters. And Mighty Mouse is, because of his weight class, just very underrated. But again, another fighter who just is fun and seems like to be such a sweetheart. If my channel ever grows big and I'm gonna have a chance to meet some of those people, I definitely would love to meet Mighty Mouse. Where you from? I'm from Georgia. What about Islam trash talk? Islam is so hilarious everywhere. I mean, I don't think Islam even trying trash talk. He's quite funny though. The thing that cracked me up was actually between Merab and Umar press conference, and there was question to Umar about how do you like to spend your free time or something, and Merab was like jacuzzi, and Islam was like, oh, you're welcome. you're welcome to our jacuzzi. So Umar was like, no, I wasn't there, and like Islam was like, yeah, just come join us. And then it's like 2-3 years to Dagestan and forget like how they're roasting the DC Daniel Cormier. This is the funniest thing ever. So yeah, I do think that low-key Islam is very funny. Okay, I keep scrolling up, guys. He only talks, trash talks only when he gets disrespect, but that he's very good and respectful. Yeah, pretty much.
Diana,
yeah.
I think it's a good idea if you just try to log off everything now.
Yeah.
And just come back on YouTube and check if it's just YouTube that's lagging. Okay.
Yeah, well, gonna try to do that now. So keep posted, guys. Just feel free to join for a live stream in a second.
Because we haven't sorted out this multi
Streaming thing, yeah, we tried,
but it keeps lagging on YouTube, and YouTube is where you're focused now. So let's just try that.
Okay.
First, and then we can re-engage.
Okay. Okay. Well, guys, see you on just YouTube. Feel free to join.